light. Lord, creator and sustainer of the world, for our presence here again on this first Sunday, for our national and also world broadcast, slowly growing to be a live broadcast made available to people outside of the United States, mostly right now inside the United States. And my interest is both global and national. And really, in these days and time, it's very important that we understand the global community. We have become members in the global community, both economically speaking and spiritually speaking. We are now members in the global community. When I was a boy, 12 years old, younger, and even older, nations, especially powerful nations like our government, the United States, could think of itself and its interests first and last, but no more. We have to think of the whole global community. And this is predicted in the books of the people belonging to the heavenly religions, we call it, Jews, Christians, and Muslims. We all have in our scriptures the promise from our Creator, our God, that as it was in the beginning, it will be in the end. Man, as we're told in our scripture, began as one family, and people were once one community. One community of human beings, having not names like the United States, China, Russia, Egypt, Great Britain. These names came much later in the history of the life of mankind or people. So we are first human. The world first received us as human beings, just as the mother who gives birth today receives her child as a human being. The child may be called African American or black, but the child cannot speak African American language or American language or English. The child comes here not able to speak any language. The child comes crying in human language and laughing or smiling in human language, expressing itself as a human being until a different language and a different environment changes that creation of God. Every human being is first the creation of God, and every human being is without any nationality until we give it one. It is without no racial identity until we give it one. It's not conscious of that. If you would raise it in another environment, speaking a different language, having a different culture, the child will come up, regardless to the color of the skin, it will come up being one of those people. It will take on the language and the culture of those people, the behavior of those people, and in every real respect or practical sense, the child will be one of them, not one of us. So we make these distinctions, we make these differences. The environment we're in makes these differences. And now the environment is becoming one that connects us all. The material environment, the environment of industry, the commercial environment, the environment of the business world is bringing us all together to work with each other, to buy from each other, to do business with each other, and to have one business law, one business language. This is the work. Or our racial garb. But without the human content, there's nothing to support those other identities. Because if you don't have your human senses and your human nature, you are just an animal wearing a design, a picture that you are not living up to. We have to appreciate ourselves as human beings in these days and times, more so than any other time. You're meeting people in the United States from many parts of the world, from many different, speaking many different languages, etc. And you have to relate to them as a human being. Yes. You can't speak to them in Chinese or in whatever their language is. Most likely you can't speak their language. You don't know their lifestyle, you don't know their traditions, you don't know their religion maybe. You don't even know their religion. So you have to relate to them as human beings. You see how God's promises has come true? Yes. That there's coming a time when we are going to have to be one community of human beings, yes, respecting each other as human beings. Think first of yourself as a human being, and think first of the other person as a human being. And then you can treat each other with respect, and you can be brothers and sisters in the family of mankind, in the global family of human beings. This is the urgency now, that we become more conscious of ourselves as human beings and prepare to live with respect for others, respecting their choices, respecting them to live as they live their life form, to be Chinese, to have their own religion, to have their own culture, have their own choice of foods, etc. We have to be happy with that. These things are superficial. They are not the real thing. A great leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he hoped for the day when a man would not be judged by the color of his face or his skin, but by the content of his character. That means human, be judged as a human being. That's right. And if the human being does not care to live a life of respect for himself or herself and build upon its excellence so that it becomes more beautiful and more worthwhile, if we spoil our own character and cheat our own life that God has given us, that it should grow in more beauty and in more excellence, then you judge that person by his or her character. And you have to disregard them, dismiss them, not include them in serious work that require human sense, human sensitivities, reasoning ability, the ability to reason, to think and reason, and care in the heart to want to do it and do it even better. You have to choose such persons to give responsibility to, and not choose those who don't care about their human worth, even in the face of guidance, or in the hearing of guidance and help to them. If they don't want it, you can't force it upon them.
Right.
You have to leave them and give your attention to those who have respect and want to do something with their lives and want to see others prosper as well.
Yes, sir.
And this brings me to the material side of life. Some of us think, oh, it's enough to let others take care of the material interests.
Come on.
And all we need to do is just stay out of trouble. If you don't take care of material interests, if you have no material interest, and you don't have anybody representing you on your block in your neighborhood that have your material interests at heart, well, pretty soon you're going to be out of it.
That's right.
You're going to be miserable.
That's right.
God did not create spirits with no bodies.
That's it. Come on.
Every spirit he created, he gave that spirit a body.
That's right.
And that body is material.
Right.
That body needs food, clothing, shelter, medical attention, and etc. So the body houses you.
That's right.
If you have a nice car, you know you have to have it serviced. It needs gas, oil, and servicing. You don't want to go out with it, take your friends out, and it's nasty.
That's right.
Well, God created us to not to want to be nasty,
Right.
to want to be clean. I used to hear people say, I feel dirty. I have to go home and take a shower. You don't hear that too much now.
Right.
Ain't nothing nasty. Everything is okay. For some. For too many. Just don't care. Another thing about this day and time is that it's doing away with man's controls. Man is no more responsible for keeping moral life in the community or in the nation. They can try their best, but it gets out of hand. Sometimes it gets so far out of hand, they throw up their hands. There's nothing we can do about the moral life of our public,
Yeah.
but let them suffer the consequences of their own bad behavior. So we come into a time like that. We are coming to a time when populations are still growing and there just ain't enough money to finance law enforcement.
That's right.
Not enough money to build enough jails. Not enough money to pay enough judges and lawyers, etc. So we live in a time when individuals are going to have to, they're being forced to be more responsible for our own lives.
All right. That's right.
And if we don't, our own behavior is going to eliminate us.
That's it.
Eliminate us. Eliminate us from being members in the human family. Eliminate us from having the joys and comforts of civilized society.
Yes.
give us to violence and insanity.
Right.
Yes, there are many living in violence and in insane life or insane behavior right now as I speak.
Right.
Yes, many, and the numbers are increasing.
Right.
This is a very serious time we're living in. I call it the day of religion. Because for the first time in the history of the great religious communities of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, we are becoming brothers and sisters in the family of human beings.
Yes.
Brothers and sisters in the family of humanity.
Yes, sir.
We have representatives meeting with each other, representatives from Judaism, representatives from Christianity and Islam, meeting with each other and discussing the global situation for us all, and offering our support to each other.
That's right.
And asking each other for help.
Yes.
To write an agenda, to form an agenda that we can all support so that we will serve the interests of not just ourselves as a religious group of representatives,
Right.
but ourselves as human beings.
Right.
How can we behave in the world? How can we communicate to the world so that we contribute to the better life and better conditions of people here and everywhere? That's what we want.
Yes.
For the first time, we have great religions coming together with the interest of human life, the one life, at heart.
Yes.
And willing to not to just tolerate each other. Say, well, I know my religion is the only religion recognized by God, but this is a free society. I grant you your rights to have your own religion. No, we're not coming from that arrogance. We're not coming from that high place towering over somebody else and speaking down to each other. We're on the level plane.
All right, brother.
We respect each other as brothers and
Yes.
sisters. We respect the religions as having the same importance. Because if your religion is your religion, it's just as serious in your heart as mine is in my heart. And we have to respect that.
Yes.
We have to respect each other and care about each other and not just tolerate differences,
Yes.
but support each other in our differences.
Yes.
Yes. Wouldn't it be better for us to support a member of our neighborhood who is a Christian, not a Muslim, a Christian? Wouldn't it be better for us to support him in his religion if he's ignorant of his religion? And we know his religion should be better represented in him than it is? And we know about his religion. Shouldn't we tell him something from his holy book, from his Bible, to remind him, to make him more conscious?
Yes, sir.
Shouldn't we let him know that we have more respect than that
Yes.
for what you claim to believe? And maybe you should know the value of your own religion, my neighbor. In the long run, we would be helping to save the neighborhood, wouldn't we?
Yes.
But if we say, oh, he's a Christian and he's not worth anything and he's just disgraceful or whatever, you have no desire to help him, no desire to bring him back. Or you say he should be a Muslim. No, he shouldn't. You're taking a big chance. Help him be what he say he is. Help him be what he say he is. He say he's a Christian, help him be a good Christian. And once he's a good Christian, if he want to become a Muslim, it's a little bit safer. But I advise all people to do the same. Yes, that Muslim, don't be trying to convert him to your religion. You might have something on your hands you regret. You'll regret something on your hand that you'll regret. So let us care about each other and respect each other and help each other in our good circumstances. And no matter how bad the worldly circumstances are, or the neighborhood circumstances are, if you claim to be a Christian, I can come to you from Christian circumstances. And I can help you see what you should be recognizing as your Christian circumstances that can support your life in a much better way than what we see when we look at our neighbors in these neighborhoods. Not all of them. I have one of the best neighbors I think you can find anywhere, any religion. And I mentioned his name, and I don't want to put him on the spot and publish his name too much, but I have a neighbor that lives next door to me, and really, I couldn't expect any more from a Muslim blood brother or a Muslim minister or imam. I couldn't expect much more. I couldn't expect any more. This man does for me what I would expect the best person to do for me. Muslim, whatever. He's just a genuine neighbor, a genuine human person. And the family, they care about each other, they care about their neighbors. And that's how we should be everywhere. All of us should be that way. We should care about our family members and care about our neighbors. And then the neighborhood will be safe for all of us. You know, the old saying that takes the African villagers say, it takes the whole village to raise a child. Well, I remember being a boy, and I remember my mother speaking of her children, and sometime I was right there too. She said, well, sister, if they don't behave, you have my permission to take care of them. And that meant to give you a whipping. My mother gave other sisters that she knew permission to give us a whipping if she was absent and they caught us behaving out of order, disrespecting my mother's instructions or guidance. Yes. Well, so that's not only African. This is folk ways, common folk ways, the common ways of people to not to leave their children to behave any kind of way, and to check them with others who will be around them when you're gone. Have them conscious that somebody's watching you, somebody will check you, you know. So this is what makes a human world, when we care about each other and when we trust each other and when we will accept each other to help us, even in matters of keeping our children in line. Sometimes you're afraid to speak to a child because you're afraid of what the parent might say. The parent might be angered. And parents are afraid to be too severe with words or strap. They're afraid that the child may call 911 and they'll be arrested. Child will be left home to be put in an orphanage or something. Parent going to jail. Now I know, you know, some of us are guilty of abusing our children, and we need that, you know. Child should call the police, you know. Somebody has to call the police because we done gone crazy, you know. But this time that we're living in is a bad time for children and a bad time for parents, because parents are not taught to respect children. I mean, children are not taught to respect parents as much as they're taught to have their own minds and opinion and do their own thing. They're taught that more than they're taught to respect their own parents. So these are very difficult times we're living in on the one hand, but on the other hand, it's a good time because the world is shaping up to be one global family. That's what it's shaping up to be. And we might as well get ready for it. That's right. We're going to have to become one global family, caring about each other, respecting each other, not seeing each other as enemies. No. If you're a human being, you're my brother in the human family. Yes. You're not my enemy. You're my brother in the human family. And if you are my enemy, it's most likely because you are not looking at your common blood with me. You are looking at your nationality and your history and maybe conflicts you've had with people like me, bad experiences you've had with people like me. So you're coming from somewhere else. And that has to be eliminated now. We have to come from our human heart and accept all people as members in humanity. Yes. Religion promises us not just spiritual life, it promises us better environmental conditions.
Right.
And it begins from the premise that once the world or the life of human beings was a life in a garden. Eden, a garden of paradise. So it began by introducing us the beginning of our life in an environment that was safe, peaceful, beautiful for us, yes, all people. And we lost that. That's right. Because of going astray from the behavior that God wanted us to keep. That's right. We lost that. We say in our Father, who was deceived by Satan in Christianity, Shaitan in our language, religious language, deceived by the deceiver, or deceived by the weaknesses in himself. The weaknesses in himself led him to stray, go against the better reasoning that God gave him the intelligence to follow and keep. That's all it is. Yes. We're bringing it home. So, you know, we know the devil, how big he's made in our eyes and in our minds. We know how big he's made. But when we look at the scripture, both for Christians and Muslims, he's made big, but then again, he's made small. That's right. Because I read in the Bible where it says, rebuke Satan and he'll run from you. That's right. Yeah, you go easy with him and won't stand up for what's right, then he keeps coming. That's right. But if you stand up for what's right, he gets away from you. You're not the type he's looking for. So he's not so big after all, is he? We say, oh, the devil, look what the devil has done. The devil, Satan got this world going to sin and going to hell. But when judgment comes, if you're a Muslim, I can tell you what's going to happen if you're a Christian too. I study both books. But I'm going to just speak to the Muslim right now. When judgment comes, say, don't come up and say, oh, the devil deceived me. God's going to tell you he had no authority over you but to give you an invitation. That's right. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Now, if you accepted it, the blame is yours. Yes, this is Islam. This is the religion of Islam. Yes, the devil has no power except the power to invite, to tempt, to invite you to wrong. Yes, if you accept the invitation, the responsibility is on you, the blame is on you. That's right. Yes, nobody because of poverty have to be a criminal. That's right. How do I know? Because my mother was as poor as any woman I knew in my early childhood. And I remember walking with holes in my shoes. I remember walking with cardboard in my shoes. Yes, I do. Oh, your father was, you don't know. Now you're talking to his son, listen. Okay, I remember waiting for the weekend to eat chicken. Yes, not every day. Waiting for the weekend, for Friday to have some fish. Sunday to have some chicken. The rest of the days, leftover, beans, rice, whatever. I remember that day in, day out, month, year in, year out. I remember living like that. But my mother never had to tell me, Wallace, I better not catch you stealing again. I didn't steal. I was not a thief. I was not a liar. I never was arrested for anything. So it doesn't take good living conditions to make a person good. A child can be good in the worst living conditions. Depends on how that child is raised up and what kind of example that child has in its immediate home environment. If it has good examples in its immediate home environment, most likely that child is going to stand up to wrongdoing and not give in to wrongdoing. You will not have to go to the jails and get him out or go to court for him. No, you won't have to do that, because his moral life will be supported by his mother and the people closest to him. They will be supporting his moral life, and he will grow up as a moral life, a strong moral life. So some people say, well, you know, what can we do? They got it all. And some of us will talk like that, you know. Oh, they got it all. We ain't got nothing. We poor. I have to make it the best way I can. That's what we hear. And we heard it back then too when I was a boy, but you didn't hear it often. And when you heard it, oh, there was a loud outcry from practically everybody that heard it. Oh, she ought to be ashamed of herself. But now the majority are turning their eyes away from what they're seeing. Pretending like ain't nothing happening wrong. It's just normal, everything's okay. So we have to come back to our good moral senses. Come back to our good moral senses. And we have to have that before we can have neighborhoods grow materially by the efforts or upon the efforts of the members of that neighborhood who are African American or black.
Right.
Our moral life is neglected, and our neighborhoods are neglected.
Right.
I go through the Hispanic neighborhoods, and I see a lot of business on their main thoroughfares, their main streets. Oh, I see a lot of business in their names. I go through other neighborhoods and I see the people contributing to the material life, the business life of their neighborhoods. I come to my neighborhood, and it's hard to find an African American in an African American neighborhood contributing to the business life of that neighborhood. That has to stop. That has to stop. And believe me, it's not color. If I saw any people neglecting their neighborhoods like that, it would burden my heart. And if I had a way to reach them to talk some sense into their heads, I would sure take advantage of it. I would find them and I'd try to talk some sense into their head. It should hurt us to see any people put down by their own behavior and attitude. Put down below other people, beneath other people. We think as long as we got a Oprah Winfrey on television, with her millions of dollars, or we can look at her. Look at that girl. That's our girl. But you go out and look at your neighborhood, and you say that's your neighborhood. But when we look at it with business eye, we say you're just existing in the neighborhood that belongs to other people. Because they will sell out, you have nothing. If they just pull up and leave you, you have nothing. You have no store to go to. You'll be left without a store to go and buy your goods from. We better hope that the other races never boycott us. If they ever boycott us, we gonna die. Nowhere to go and buy food, nowhere to do anything, nowhere to go to take care of our life. Yeah, maybe that's all to pray for. And all other people boycott blacks. Make you do something about your own condition. Make you take your own condition into your own hands.
Go ahead, brother. Man. Right.
Make you come to each other crying, tears wetting your cheeks. Please, if you all open the store, I promise you I'll trade with you. But now we're just looking for something. Oh, there's a black man over the store there. Let's watch it die. Then we have to also hold our business people accountable. Because we got a attitude too that's defeating, self-defeating. You get in the store, white man, Asian, he charging $1 for this particular item. You charge $3. And we come there to your store and it's $3. You know a black man had to pay more. Go using black. You know a black man has to pay more. I can't get it for what the white is getting it for. And it's not the truth all the time. But if that is the truth, then the neighborhood should have representatives that are working in the best interest of the neighbors. Block club, whatever. And you should get together and put your heads together and say we have to find ways to increase the volume for our retail people, business owners in our neighborhood. And that means more of us going to have to pledge to buy from Mr. So-and-so. Yes. And let's give him an order right now of 500 of this and 500 of that. You'll make that man a big wholesaler and retailer overnight. That's right. Well, there's no problems that can't be solved. You can solve all these problems. You read the history of neighborhoods, of small towns and neighborhoods, how people faced the bad circumstances and how they put their heads together and worked with each other. And pretty soon they had a flourishing community. That's right. Flourishing community. Right. But you can't do it working against each other. There it is. You have to do it working for each other. That's right. Yes. I don't know if you believe in God or not. I do. My mother put God in my conscience when I was a little boy, a very little boy, and it never went out. All right. Yes, I fear a God over me. And I love a God over me. And I depend on a God over me. You know? Yes, sir. So this makes my life different from the person that just lives and them never care about how they're living and who has authority over them. Makes it quite different. Makes a big difference. But if you don't have those things, if you just use your common good sense, just use human intelligence, and human intelligence will correct your ways. Right. It's not human intelligence to spend all your money with other people, right, and not with people in your own neighborhood. Right. It's not human intelligence to go on tolerating that and looking at that year in and year out, generation after generation, and not being alarmed to the point of saying our leaders on this block, our leaders in this neighborhood, we got to come together. We got to come together. It's usually a small common person with hardly no means at all that brings the big issue to someone that has the intelligence, the schooling, or whatever to do something about it. That's right. So don't wait for the big person up there in the sky somewhere to solve all your problems. On your level, press the button, set an alarm, and say, hey, fellow neighbors, friends, we can't continue to live like this. We have to stop living against ourselves. I don't know what's wrong with some people. Just like or accept to live against each other.
Yes.
We can't accept that.
That's it.
We can't accept that.
That's it.
Now, this has been going on for better than 60 years. Maybe for almost now 80 or 90 years. This kind of attitude's been going on. But I remember 40 and 50 years ago, we were trying to get up off the ground and trying to work with each other.
That's right.
Trying to be right by each other, and was encouraging each other to take the lead, to lead us in moral life, lead us in civic life,
Yes.
lead us in business life.
right.
We were encouraging each other to do that, you see? But that time is gone. Time is gone. So while I'm appealing to you to change the way you feel and act, I'm also telling you that whether you change or not, we are going to work with the small number we are working with,
Sir.
and we are going to build models of neighborhood life.
Yes, sir. Come on. That's right.
Since I asked for this, I have seen it developing in many parts of these United States. There's a Muslim here, in fact more than one, from out of town, from out of this area. I've seen their faces, my eyes have seen them, fallen upon them in this audience that I'm addressing here in the Ramada Hotel, Ramada Inn. And they are building